if you are watching or listening to this, then you are listening to the first ever episode of the Social Butterfly podcast. I'm your host, Bri. I guess I kind of want to start by giving a little background as to why I'm here and why we're doing this. This podcast has actually been a very long time coming, and some people might be surprised to hear that, some might not. I really haven't talked about it much with anyone. It's just kind of been a idea that I've had, and it actually kind of started coming to fruition, or not even fruition. That seed was planted almost 5 years ago now, when I first started therapy. And I started at a time where I had just gotten out of the career in journalism. And one of the things I was talking to my therapist about was that my new job was checking all the boxes for just about anything that I was doing in journalism. But I was still just missing something. And she had said, she's like, you should start a YouTube channel or a podcast or something just for you. You don't have to tell anyone about it. But just something to kind of fill that creative need for you and just have something, somewhere to talk. And that goes into why we named this the way we did, but we'll get into that later. So yeah, so I kind of started thinking of names and making cover art almost 5 years ago. And I just never really did anything with it. I don't know if I do know I was just nervous to do that. You know, you're kind of putting yourself out there, and I've had blogs before, and they were good for a while, and then I kind of fell off, and so I didn't know if I really wanted to start something if I didn't know if I'd be able to keep up with it. And then not too long ago, my therapist that I have now, I said to her, I'm like, a while ago the idea was brought to my attention to start a podcast, and I've been really just feeling this itch to do it. I see so many people doing it now, and it actually just makes it seem more attainable. And she said to me, she was like, well, why not? Why not? You don't have to expect anything to come from it, and I don't. But why not? Just do it for yourself. If you feel the need to do it, then do it. And so that is what we're doing. I got my friend to help me figure out what equipment I would need. I spent time on the setup. Thank goodness I have a little bit of a background in video and audio, but it still took a while. And now we're here. And it's really exciting, and it's really scary. And this first episode's going to be pretty short, but I just wanted to go through why I'm here, what I'm hoping to get out of this, and what I'm hoping you get out of it too. So let's talk about the name for a second. Social Butterfly. I chose that name. We workshopped a lot of names, and by we, I mean me. But I chose that name because ever since I was younger and in school, almost every report card that I can remember always had, Brianna does her work well, she's kind, blah, 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 whatever. But she is a social butterfly, and we have a hard time putting her anywhere in class where she's not talking to somebody. And I've just heard that my whole life, people referring to me as a social butterfly. My papa made a joke when I first started my career in journalism that I was the smartest person ever because I made a career out of talking, which he's so right, because I am a yapper. So this was the perfect job for me. But I love connecting with people. I love talking to people, sometimes too much, but and I just think my ability to be social is a strength of mine. And so when I was thinking about what do I want this podcast to be? What do I want to talk about? And I kind of was just thinking I want to talk about anything and everything. I could talk for days. I mean, it's just me down here in my basement right now, and I'm just talking to a camera, and I'm already taking up time doing that. And so I was just kind of wanting to play off of my strength of just being able to talk to other people and find out about them. And Yeah, and butterflies are also very special to me. I have a connection with my grandma with those, so that was a special little nod to her too. So it just all kind of fit, and when I thought of it, I was like, that's perfect. So hence, Social Butterfly Podcast was born. I guess what I want the space to be is really just a place to build community. I said it before, but there really is a spot for everyone on the internet. There's always little pockets of the internet where you find people that you relate to. And I think that's one of the reasons that I love social media so much, is because it just I mean, there are a lot of downsides for sure, but one of the most beautiful things about it, I think, is it allows people from all walks of life, from all corners of the earth, to find connection and community. And being connected is part of the human experience, and it's my favorite part of the human experience. And so I think podcasts are a wonderful place to kind of build that community and have that pocket of the internet and of the world where you feel seen, and you can listen to something and say, oh, I do that too, or I've struggled with that too, or, you know, whatever it might be. But I think that's kind of my ultimate goal. And whether I create that for 100 people, whether I create that for 10 people, whether I create that for one person, I'll have considered like my goal achieved. Because that's really just what I want to do. I've just had this nagging in the back of my head for so long that this is just something that I need to do. And now we're here doing it. And we're going to cover all sorts of topics on here. I mean, I am a former journalist, and so I'll definitely have guests on. I want to talk to other people, whether it's just my close family and friends, or hopefully someday we can expand that too. But just talk to people, find out their stories, just talk about life, relationships, careers, career changes. Mental health will probably be a big topic on here. I'm very passionate about mental health and talking through struggles, but also talking through what helps and kind of trying to chip away at that stigma. And I know in the past few years it has become so much easier to talk about mental health, and I love that. And so that's a conversation I really want to be a part of too. So yeah, I mean, this first episode is not going to be long, but I'm just giving you the who, what, where, when. When. Oh, the when. I'm thinking I'm going to be posting on Wednesdays, but we'll see. Maybe Tuesdays. I haven't quite figured that out yet. We're doing good. We've gotten to this point. Okay. It was 5 years in the making. Give me a little grace to figure out when I actually want to post this. But yeah, if you've made it to the end of this, thank you for being here. Thank you for pushing play and taking a chance on this. I hope you'll come back next week. And we'll just kind of see where this goes. But thanks. And I'll see you in the next one.